All right. Was it just me, or did anyone else miss the fact that Brent Faiyaz has been teasing another album? I had somebody comment asking for a Brent vibe, and so I hopped onto his page and saw that he had teased these 2 tracks. They're bangers. There's 2 tracks and they're quite different. The first one, called Peter Pan, it's smooth, it's vintage, it's warm, and he got his perfect Brent Faiyaz melodies on top, just sparkling throughout. Where Tony Soprano is a much more dark and moody vibe, it almost feels a bit of an interlude, so it's a very creative and very unique style song. Right, so here's the plan. Let's cook up both. This is part 1. We're gonna do a vibe like Tony Soprano. Moody, dark, R&B, chopped pianos, moody strings. That's gonna be the vibe. Then, in 48 hours, part 2 drops. We're gonna test my soul chops and make one inspired like Peter Pan. Which Brent Faiyaz do you prefer? More soul or more of the dark, moody stuff? Let me know in the comments below. And with that, let's get into the cook-up. So this track is absolutely insane. Intro, piano chops. Verse kicks in, beat drops, B section. Strings are gonna carry it. It's very soulful. Then we're coming into that C section, which blends the string part with the piano chops. So it's kind of using that motif. And then we got our outro. We're gonna have some fun with the outro. Let's go through a progression. It's gonna be super simple. 6 to the 2 minor 7. Now that we got the piano, we gotta bounce it in place so we can chop it up. The main thing I'm doing is just taking off the end of each chop, and so it feels like a sample is being played or it's just dropping out a little bit. Now that we got the piano, we gotta bounce it in place so we can chop it up. The main thing I'm doing is just taking off the end of each chop, and so it feels like a sample is being played or it's just dropping out a little bit. And this is what we're sounding like now. I also made it mono just for kicks, just to give it an even more old school feel. All right, next up, strings. I grabbed these dark strings from Omnisphere and I thought they sounded sick. I'm also low cutting them, so I'm taking away a bit of the lows, just so they sit in the mix nice and clean. Stack that up with some contact violin and a little bit of viola. And then I actually drop some cello in there too, very subtly. Track will be carried by the pocket in the drums, so I think we should build that out now. Brent Faiyaz doesn't use ordinary drum beats and ordinary grooves. He's very creative and very sparse. So let's challenge ourselves and use some really cool sounds to create atmosphere and texture. Then I added this pattern in to create some energy in between sections. For the main hi-hat bounce, it's a basic 2-step, but we're gonna add velocity to be really carrying the groove, and we'll loop those velocities throughout the entire thing. Kick, we're spacing it out, make sure it's really got a deep pocket. Another percussion to add to the 2 and 4. Little offbeat snare, more percussion. I thought this was cool. I've ripped out a snap and then this yell, and I'm stacking them together on a random snare hit every so often, just to create a moment. As you can see, we're focusing on textures more than we're focusing on just really loud, abrasive drums in your face. Really focusing on the sound choice and try and find things that will complement each other in the groove. I'm now adding some live drums to increase the real texture, organic texture. For this section, I think live bass is really sick. Let's have it move around a lot and really play with the groove that we've got going. Moving on to the B section, and the strings are gonna have to carry us. Let's come up with a really cool motif that we can repeat that'll be sick in this part. I wanted to find an alternate progression, and so you're gonna watch me come up with this progression, and it's kind of funny. I get pretty stoked. Add in a glide pad. Live strings, still working on my violin skills. Starts pretty raw, put some EQ and compression on it and verb it out a little bit, and we're sounding all right. Sub bass in this section would be perfect. I then added these cool glitches and textures. Wind chimes, so good. Switching up the violin in the C section to mimic the piano chops that we had. For the outro, I thought it'd be cool to have this little raw electric guitar vibe. Added this little vocal layer for some extra sparkle as well. All right. I'm stopping here. Now I can't spoil this final beat without cooking up the next one. So in 48 hours, you can check out both of them. We'll compare and contrast them and watch the full cookup for the soul vibe that we're gonna make inspired by Peter Pan. Unless you're on my Patreon, where you'll have access to the beats, the loops, and the full cookups right now. Hit that subscribe and bell icon so you don't miss part 2, and I'll see you in 48 hours. Peace.